Well, we'd like to let you know that we're having challenges with the links because the system was just hanging. But let you know that we already had 18 shares and about 601 views of this program in less than 1 minute that we started the program. Now, Engineer Lukman Akemokue is from Okpela in Esako East Local Government Area of Edo State. He is the CEO, Ramagate Engineering Consulting Limited, a firm that specializes in the engineering, civil engineering and oil and gas industry. He is an alumnus of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where he became union president at his time. And of course, he also graduated from the University of Bolton, United Kingdom. And he's currently certified and a practicing engineer. Executive Director, Trade and Investment to Comrade Adams Ali Oshomole when he was the governor of Edo State at that time. And he is also the publisher of the Harmless Rabbits Platform, both online and in print. He is a friend, all right, Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu, the Deputy Governor of Edo State. Lukman, you're on the program.
Welcome, Habibat.
Your surname, sounds very fascinating. Akemokue. Yes. You are from Okpela. Now, what does it mean?
Akemokue means the war, the tribulations, the fight has ended. Yes. That is the meaning of my name. And my other name, Lukman, was a name that was given to me by somebody who was my dad's friend in the north. He's late now. Former Minister for Petroleum, Real One Lukman.
Oh, Real One Lukman.
That's the one who gave me the name. And he was also a mentor to me when I schooled in Zaria. You know he's from Zaria.
Yes, yes.
So that's how my name comes
in. Interesting. All right. Now, what is your assessment of the Governor Godwin Obaseki's performance in the last 3 years and 8 months?
Well, in assessing Obaseki's government,
yes,
let us contextualize it in the sense that the key indices for judging what he has done vis-a-vis the problem that now emanated between him and Oshomole. If we take the assessment through that context, it will be easier for people to connect very well with him. In that context, we use the common denominator called continuity.
Okay.
Oshomole was the one who told me about Godwin in 2015, 2016, that is the person that he's going to hand over to. And he gave me very, very clear, in the private, very, very clear explanation of who the person is and how he has supported him for 8 years without taking a dime from the purse. And there is this catch, he always say, Godwin, however difficult a problem is, when developmental issues are brought up, Godwin will say, Oshomole, do the thinking, break the programs, I will find the money. And it was that comrade even told me that man he used to refer to, because when he came to become a governor in 2015, that time I was publishing a magazine called, 2007. In 2006, I initiated a magazine called Echoes of Power Shifts, which was primarily meant to ensure that after the Benin's have done their 8 years, the power should shift to either Edo North or Edo Central. So I published that. And when Comrade came, when we brought him into Benin, 3 of us, Felix Schreiber led that team. Yeah. Then late Greg Haruna, who is now late, who was his PA, and myself. That time there was no party at all.
Okay.
And he kept telling us Lagos, somebody is raising money for him from Lagos. And he never told us who the person is. It was when he wanted to hand over, because I left the country after the election for my master's. After my master's, I got my job. I was working. I worked in the UK briefly. I went to UAE. So it was during that, when he came back to say, Lukman, because I have already chosen who I wanted. He said, Lukman, this is who I want to hand over to. And he gave me a clear picture of who he is. He knows everything about the government, and he knows the direction that they are going. And so it is not good for him to go and give governments to hand over to somebody who does not have a clear vision of where they are going. And that is why he chose the Godwin. Now, with this brief history, the question is, in assessing Godwin Obaseki's government, deviated from Oshomole's developmental strides. I will give you the various sectors. I will explain them to you to see that if Oshomole's vision for Edo State is what should be used to judge the performance of Godwin Obaseki vis-a-vis continuity, Obaseki scored 100%. Because in the various sectors, infrastructure, the roads, education, agriculture, these three key sectors, I can see and I can name the way methodically how Obaseki is following these programs, and even doing it faster than how Oshomole even thought or imagined. So during the course of our discussion, I will name them. These projects and things that people connect with. Human empowerment, human capital development. Reading the city of thugs and touts and trying to build future for our youths and children. I will name them and cite specific examples of how Godwin Obaseki is methodically following this program and doing perfectly and creditably well in these sectors. So, in generality, before I go into specifics, Obaseki has performed creditably well, overwhelmingly well in his 3 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, you mentioned something about the magazine that you were publishing at that time, that if there's going to be a power shift, if it is the turn, or if it is the turn of the South, then you expect that the power should either shift to either the North or the Central.
Yes.
Now, Obaseki is from Edo South.
Yes.
So what are you envisaging in the next dispensation?
Well, Edo people, we are one. We are only, everybody migrated from Benin. The same linguistics, the same culture, the same way of life. There is no word you speak in Okpela language that you cannot connect with Benin. Like, who is the founder of Okpela? We call him Ikpomaza. It's a corrupted word for Ikpomusa. The word Okpela is a corrupted word for Okpiana. Man, yes, it was corrupted. The same thing if you go to Ishan and other Itako, their history is well defined that we are all from Benin origin. Now, so we act as brothers. We are all like other states where there are different tribes and they don't even have any heritage connection. So when we talk about power shift, it is just as a geographical considerations. Edo South, Central, and North. So when Lucky Benidio was exiting government, I came out with this concept. The power should quietly, peacefully rotate among the 3 senatorial districts. Of course, you know I'm from Edo North. So there was a bias. Okay. I have a bias that if the power is leaving Edo South, it should go to Edo North. And the 3 people who were showing interest then, I was working with 3 of them. I said, first and foremost, let us agree. Let the Beninese agree that the power will go to Edo North. Michael Giadome, who was the deputy governor, he will tell you, I think if you watch, anybody ask him, he will confirm. Professor Julius Ihovere and Adams Oshomole, these 3 people, we put them in one basket. And I was doing a publication, Echoes of Power Shift, promoting and giving genuine reasons why power has to leave here for Edo North. And we were distributing these write-ups. That time there was no Facebook, there was no social media. I write, I print in different colors, very colorful write-ups. And I go to Oba Palace, I go to House of Assembly, I go to schools, I distribute them. And this is what we were doing then. So on the basis of power shift, I have been part of that system. Now the power shifted. Beninese are very considerate. They understand and agree that they are our brothers. And if you look at the voting pattern, while the PDP then featured somebody from Edo Central, the ACN,
at that time
featured somebody from Edo North. And the person they zeroed down on is Oshomole. So obviously, I have to work with him. Now, 8 years uninterrupted. It was never disrupted. The Beninese voted massively for Oshomole, not considering that he is from Edo North, he's an Itza command. They voted massively for him. And in 2012, that solidarity was reenacted. Now, in that 2012, there is an illustrious Benin son, General Ayavi Richards, who contested other PDP against Oshomole. And that was when Oshomole even got the best or a better victory. That was when they reenacted 18 over 18. Oshomole won across the 18 local governments, courtesy of what? The Beninese. It is that system of making in the land, of having an unwritten agreement of how power should be shared and rotated. It is that business that you see some of us are very concerned about, especially when you have somebody who's performing. Oshomole, Benin supported you for 8 years. Even when they had an illustrious son that would have removed you halfway. Do you think that he's God? Who does he think he is? He's the understanding of the people. Or what special gift? Is he that tall?
Now,
is he that handsome? What special gift does he think he have that made Benin jettison his son for him?
Now,
that Obaseki has come in as a Benin man and is performing. It is expected that Oshomole should respect these people and allow this man to finish his, so that as power is moving
to where now?
All of us, I will champion that power should go to Central. Yeah. And the way me I look at it, you know, both Central and North combined is not as big as South. So the way we are viewing it and structuring it is that when power leaves Benin for 8 years, wherever it goes to, after 8 years, that power must return back to Benin before it goes to anywhere. That's the way we have structured it. It's not that Benin finish, you go to Central, Central finish, you go to North. No. And that is what happened. When the Beninese ruled for 8 years, it went to North. When they finished, it came back to South. When the Beninese finish now, after 8 years, it will go to Central. When it finishes Central, it has to come back to Benin again. Before you are talking about North.
Okay.
This is the only way you maintain peace in the land.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Obaseki's achievement. Do you think the governor has sufficiently touched on these 3 senatorial districts in his developmental strides?
Let me tell you how he has done that. I will name 3 very, very huge projects. In Benin, Airport Road. The airport road that Oshomole likes to speak about, or boast about. He took it to Ogba River, right? And the contract was awarded to Setraco. I don't want to talk about what happened before it was taken from Setraco. There is a very dirty thing, and it has to do with this.
No,
man.
We don't need to.
Now,
thank you.
He took it there, and which company executed that contract? That is a Setraco. Then, when you reach the end, around that ADP, there is this road called Iriri Road.
Yes.
From that Iriri, it cuts across about 22 communities. Arogba, Okoromi, Egbiri, down to Sapele bypass. That road is 4 times longer than airport road. Airport road is dualized, but that one is the cost of that road was the idea. Comrades, do the arterial road, the venar connections will be done by Obaseki. Comrade did airport road, right? Obaseki picked it from where he stopped and take Iriri road round. And which company? Setraco. It's a very good company. I'm an engineer. I know a company that is competent. Obaseki changed the contractor? No. The same Setraco which Oshomole brought was allowed to continue. That is Edusa. When you go to Setra, Ekpoma Road is another huge project. Obaseki, that road has been abandoned over a very long period of time. Since after Abusali, there was no way people could no longer move in Ekpoma Road. Obaseki took that project and completed it. In Edo North, the first project, 2 months after Godwin Obaseki assumed office, Agbede Iowa Road, 29 kilometers. He started it. At the same time, he was doing the Edo South own, he was doing the Edo Central own, he was doing the Edo North own. These are roads. So, in terms of spread, he took huge road projects at the same time and made sure he executed all of them completely. And it is the same contractors Oshomole brought that he is using. The question is, Oshomole, where has Obaseki deviated from the program that you are fighting him? Then, if you want me to go to other states, there are so many roads across the 3 senatorial districts that are ongoing. In my case, let me tell you, in my ward, for instance, Afukpela, Ward 7 in Okpela. Yeah. For 8 years, Oshomole was only able to construct 1.8 kilometer road for Okpela people. For 8 years, we were begging. He flagged that road off 3 times. He was doing politics. Flag off, commissioning, every time election comes, Oshomole will be there. Caterpillar will be doing Yaga. Immediately election is over, he takes the caterpillars away. Because they were not designed, they were not awarded. Obaseki came without visiting my community, Okpela. From the S junction, 1.8 kilometer, Oshomole ended it. From that place to Ogriga, the end of Ogriga is 4.2 kilometers. Within a period of 1 year, Obaseki has done 4.2 kilometers in Okpela.
Was it because of your relationship with him?
Look, I can categorically tell you that you don't need to. The little interaction I have with Obaseki, you don't need to influence him he gets something done, he has a clear picture, a clear idea of where he's going. And he understands the politics of development, where projects that are spread across communities are allotted the meager funds that are available to ensure that no development is skewed to one place. So if I tell you today that I pressurize Obaseki to do 4.2 kilometers in 1 year, I am lying. Nobody, did he come? Nobody pressurized him. He only knew that there is a job to be done, and he gets it done. And that's Obaseki.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. All right. We are chatting with Lukman, Engineer Lukman Akemokue, the publisher of the Harmless Rabbit. When we come back, we are going to be taking a look at the simple agenda versus the mega agenda. Please stay with us.
2014, and ever since I joined the school has always been seen by people as a dead school because of how it looks. But I have this great hope that one day, the school, Government Science and Technical College, Benin City, is going to be a great place for learning for technical students that will help me stand side by side with any other students in the world. Though my parents are dead, my mom and my dad, but I have my sisters who are taking good care of me. They are sponsoring my use in school. I'm happy now that what I have before as a vision, that vision which I have before, has come to reality, and we give God all the glory.